Space ORDIMAN. The Great Reset. Part 1, 2030. Everything changed in a single heartbeat. It began with a light dizziness, a pulse behind the eyes, a barely perceptible shift in inner balance. It lasted less than a second. Then people looked up. And the world stopped. The sky was no longer sky, it had become a living tapestry of the cosmos. Stars shone with impossible sharpness, nebulas wound across the heavens like rivers of color, and colossal celestial bodies seemed to hover only a few kilometers above the atmosphere. It was beautiful enough to hurt. Holy enough to terrify. Day and night lost all meaning, every place on earth saw the same spectacle. It was as if the atmosphere had been torn away, exposing humanity to the raw infinite. For a moment, the entire planet froze. People cried, fell to their knees, murmured prayers, or simply tried to record the vision. Then came the second revelation: nothing worked. No phone powered on. No car started. No satellite responded. All human technology had died at the same instant, as if the planet had been unplugged from the future. The sky had opened. The universe was looking back. And humanity understood something simple and terrible: whatever had touched the heavens had touched everything. Part 2, 2031. A year passed since that impossible day. On January 13th, the same vibration rippled across the world and the sky opened again. Galaxies once remote now hung over every horizon. But the wonder did not last. As the firmament shone, the world went dark. Machines ceased. Power vanished. Communications collapsed. Satellites died. Within hours, civilization crumbled. Then came the heat. Global temperature rose 5 degrees at once, turning the equator into a lethal belt. Entire populations migrated toward the polar regions, the largest migration in history, unrecorded by anyone. Cities emptied. Nations fell. Humanity became scattered survivors, trying to rebuild life on a planet that no longer obeyed old rules. The only reminder of the world they lost was the sky, bright, strange, impossibly close. Part 3, 2034. 4 years later, humanity had regressed to something primitive: improvised tribes, constant violence, chronic hunger. No one spoke of rebuilding anymore, only enduring. Then it appeared. Against the exposed sky, a gigantic shape materialized, drifting slowly in the void. A colossal structure was advancing toward Earth. Everyone remembered the discovery from July 2025, when a Chilean telescope spotted an object entering the solar system. They named it 3I/Atlas, and for 4 years, theories multiplied. Now it was arriving. To the naked eye, its outline grew sharper, too large, too symmetrical, too deliberate to be a comet. Eventually, the truth became undeniable. It was not natural. And its final destination was Earth. Part 4, 2035. By 2035, humanity had reached its lowest point. Civilization no longer existed, only exhausted survivors remained. A year earlier, 3I/Atlas had revealed its true form. Now it rested near the moon, larger than Earth itself, yet without gravity, without pulling tides, without interfering with anything. A colossal metallic ring, similar to Saturn's structures, but solid, artificial. Sometimes points of light traveled along its surface. But most of the time, it remained still. Until mid-2035, when everything changed. The structure flashed all at once, as if a planet-sized engine had awakened, and it moved toward Earth, dominating most of the sky. Humanity watched, afraid, but resigned. Years of suffering had erased any hope. Then the tubes descended. Gigantic metallic conduits pierced the planet across all continents. Each was the size of a skyscraper, ending at ground level with a single electronic door that opened whenever someone approached. Above the entrance, one word glowed: ORDIMAN. Inside, all the interiors were identical. A white, sterile chamber with a large screen at its center. From hidden speakers came a calm voice, fluent in the local language. "We have come to save you. Enter. Enter ORDIMAN." The screen repeated the message, accompanied by instructions and warnings, perfectly translated. Scattered across the ruined world, the tubes stood like gateways offering salvation, or something far worse. Part 5, 2040. The transformation was swift. By the end of 2035, most of humanity had accepted ORDIMAN's call. Anyone approaching those metallic colossi was met by a silent door, led into a white hall, and then into an elevator that seemed to ascend beyond the planet itself. The ascent had no windows, no references, only a gentle vibration lasting days, as if the passenger were being carried through a vertical tunnel without end. When at last the doors opened, they revealed a metallic expanse so vast it made ancient cities feel microscopic. The elevator vanished behind them, sinking back into the abyss. Ahead, a horizon of titanic structures awaited cyclopean architecture, perfectly ordered. Guided by luminous paths, travelers walked until the landscape shifted abruptly. There it stood, a replica of the world they had lost. A planet rebuilt with cruel perfection, restored cities, green fields, clean rivers, homes reassembled as if nothing had happened. Many wept. Others whispered they had been reborn. In less than a year, humanity resettled in this new home, rebuilding nations, routines, and hopes. But this land was not what it seemed. Nature there was far too lush. Mixed among familiar species were creatures with no equivalent in human biology, beautiful and docile animals beside predators capable of destroying entire villages, poisonous organisms carrying unknown diseases, vast ecosystems full of alien life. And as humanity struggled to readapt, an uncomfortable truth emerged: they were not the only inhabitants of that imitation world. Part 6, 3030. 1,000 years passed since the Great Reset. What had once been catastrophe became myth. The generations who survived the event no longer existed, their stories diluted into legend, while humanity thrived, adapted to the dangers and wonders of the recreated world. Fortresses replaced fragile homes. Armored vehicles crossed savage paths. Technology flourished under a new principle: survival above all else. Then, after the year 3000, something extraordinary occurred. Golden beings, incorporeal, made of pure consciousness, began to appear. They floated like living reflections, observing without expression. At first, they were only silent presences. Over time, certain sensitive individuals perceived faint mental waves emanating from them. Thus, the first nonverbal dialogue was established. The revelation these specters conveyed dismantled 1,000 years of belief. No one there had a physical body. All had died in 2030, the moment the sky opened and technology collapsed. The new world was an enormous spiritual prison, a simulation built by an infernal entity or cosmic machine whose purpose was to contain human souls in infinite cycles. Each life, each death, each rebirth was only a new loop inside the same confinement. The golden entities also revealed something even more impossible. They were trying to interfere with the past. Using a technique that encoded information inside electrons, they sent mental messages to eras prior to the Great Reset. Only a few individuals could perceive these transmissions, among them, members of a secret order called Ordo Lux. These fragments of message had been guiding the agents of the past, as they fought to stop the catastrophe of 2030 from becoming reality.